Alright, welcome back. This is 1981's Special Forces, and I'm going to be completely honest, this is the album that I have listened to the most times. So I really do enjoy it. However, there's one track that I can really give two shits about, and I'm sure you probably already know what that is. The album cover itself, uh, personally, I think it works. I think because I started thinking like, oh, maybe it could have been the Alice Cooper live at the Apollo in Glasgow. I'll throw a picture up there or whatnot. Or maybe they could put Alice in a tank or like this destructive city and whatnot. But there's two things with that. One is I think that'll be pretty misleading to what the actual album sounds like. And the second thing is that, well, that's going to take money and effort, to which Warner Brothers doesn't want to give either to Alice Cooper at this point. So you're stuck with this, whether you love it or hate it. At the end of the day, I think it does work. I think it is kind of cool with the swords, how they're blurred, so you focus more on that masterpiece. But the backside, I don't know. I think if you would have went with that, maybe you would have got more sales. I don't know. Nevertheless, it is cool. And of course, I showed this before in a, what was it, Life and Crimes video. I do have a t-shirt of that. So, there you go. I always like having t-shirts like that. If you've seen my AC/DC one, it's fly on the wall just because, when do you ever see that? When do you ever see a Special Forces t-shirt? You never, right? So when you see that, it's like, oh man, this guy knows his shit. So yeah. But to go on with the album cover, of course, on the backside, famously, the last song right there, "Look at You Over There, Ripping the Sawdust from My Teddy Bear," that was taken out of the album. However, it was still on the cover, which again tells you that Warner Brothers doesn't give a shit anymore. However, I'm going to be completely honest, for as much of a crack title that is, he sounds the most Alice Cooper-like on that song. I'll put it in the description for any of you guys that are curious. The credits are kind of funny, like the bottom's "Lovely Portrait of Alice" by Jonathan Exley. But there is going to be a prominent guy, what's his name, Eric Scott. Eric Scott's actually going to produce it with Alice Cooper for the next album, Zipper Catches Skin. But yeah, the cover, like I said, I dig it, but I can definitely see why people don't like it. But the inside, the album cover, the album sleeve, is, yeah, we hit rock bottom, and that's too bad. However, I know I've talked about this before, to which Flush the Fashion, Special Forces were in the house. Like, my dad had a lot of the albums, but like they got lost somewhere. I think they were up in the rafts or whatnot. So just in the house in general, were just those two albums. And I remember hearing it, oh god, I don't know, like 8, 9 years ago, out on the record player, like Special Forces. And probably besides School's Out, I really didn't know much about Alice Cooper. And when I'm hearing this album, I'm basically going, what the fuck is this? This strange sounds of like new wave and synth, and he's singing about pretty cops and making these fighting rocky sounds and whatnot. It's like, what on earth is going on here? So I really didn't care for it, and then I tried at like one point. I was just like listening, and I'm like, man, what the fuck is up with this album? But I gotta tell you, the more I listen to it, the more I really digged it, and I don't know, it might be a top 10, who knows. But as for the album itself, when it debuted, it's just continuing to fall off a cliff in terms of charts and sales, which I find kind of interesting because, I mean, new wave synth, punk is really prevalent during this time. And I think Alice Cooper kind of really hits the mark on these, the two albums, and of course the next one's pretty punk in itself. So, I don't really know why Warner Brothers didn't give him a whole lot to work with in terms of at least a promotion. This album and this tour is really only prevalent in that Tom Snyder interview. I will put that in the description. However, if you have any sort of like body dysmorphia or anorexia, just any of those type of problems, proceed with caution because this dude is like 2 weeks from the grave. It's quite disturbing looking. Um, he did go on tour, I believe in the States, and then he really hit his mark in Europe. The Alice Cooper Live in Paris, and I also put a song to that one, Generation Landslide Live '81. But yeah, he really did a successful tour in Europe. In fact, he even wrote a song about Britain. Only for Britain is what it's called. When he made it to the UK. In fact, there was a commenter that talked about how he actually went to a lot of those concerts, so that's pretty cool. There is footage on YouTube of the various like performances and whatnot, and you know he does a pretty good job for his state, right? But to get on with the album itself, I've kept y'all long enough. For Special Forces, the first. Oh, okay, I take that back. There's one more I have to say. Okay, so out of this entire album, there has only been one song that has been played live, and the last that I know of that's like 15 years ago, and that was the Eyes of Alice Cooper, I believe, in which it was Who Do You Think We Are, and he killed it. Watch it on YouTube. He kills it. Did a great job. However, unfortunately, 95% of the audience is only there for Poison or Feed My Frankenstein, so it's just a bunch of fucking crickets. Because, you know, it will be cool. Like, I think regardless if you love or hate these albums, I think it'll be pretty cool just to hear some of these songs live. Because, you know, you never really do. And I understand, you know, I guess if you're Alice, like, oh man, you know, I would love to, but, you know, there's not much performing to an audience if none of them cares about this stuff or even knows about this, you know. So I'd rather get a strong reaction for, you know, a Poison or Hey Stupid or whatnot, because, you know, if he comes out singing, I don't know, Vicious Rumors, you know, is anybody really going to care too much? Not really. But in any case, yeah, Special Forces for the title track, Who Do You Think We Are? And this is great stuff. So you open up with new wave, synth, and then you get these like helicopters flying around and whatnot, and then the drums bang pretty fast, like who do you think we are? And his voice is rough. It's like he has a cold pretty much, and it's just not really there a whole lot. However, it does work given the what would you call it, the genre of this album, I guess. But I do love just how like the cymbals really do start to crash, and I really do dig the riff on this song. And just that the various lines that he sings on this track overall is pretty great. You know, carnivorous, you know, getting all these troubles, I really can't describe it. You know, say goodbye. The chorus is pretty fun. You know, who do you think we are? Special forces in an armored car. We don't care. We just don't care. And there's a line that I really enjoy, which is, I wrote this down, like, never sick of this. I'm red and white, black and blue. I love that part. And then there's a nice solo piece towards the end with all the instruments. And then they start chanting, you know, who do you think we are? And then Alice is coming in saying, we don't care. No, 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 we just don't care. Who do you think we are? Oh, at the end of the day, it is pretty fun. I think, you know, I mean, I don't know if I have to say, like, maybe throw your brain out for this one, but like if you dig the new wave stuff, absolutely, I think you'll really enjoy this stuff. But yeah, who do you think we are? It's great. All right, the next one, 7 and 7 is, which I guess a ton of artists cover this song. I've heard it a few times. I think the Ramones might have covered it at some point. I don't know, but there is a video as well. I think like the Paris thing where he's in this subway cart or the tube if you're from Europe, and he's like in these red boxer briefs, and he's got this like gym t-shirt, and you know, just seeing this fucking stick figure dude doing jumping jacks and fighting and whatnot. I don't know, but like the song, it opens up just this thumping sounds and this fast riff, and the voice is pretty shot and raspy. You know, he's singing about go inside my room, put my mind in an ice cream cone. You know, when I was a boy, that someday I will be a man. It's just stuff like that. And what he does on a few of the tracks is like these off screen yells and chirps. Like for this one, it's like ooh bam bam, yeah. It's just stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. There's these one off lines. It's funny. And then you get, of course, you get to the middle part when all the instruments are really rising, and then you hear him fighting. It's like, hoo, yeah, hoo, hoo, just these fucking noises, and then it gets really loud and whatnot, and then he sings about again going inside his room, put my mind in an ice cream cone, stuff like that. But the ending, my god, it's kind of like for Make That Money on Zipper Catches Skin with the ending. God damn, that's a great solo piece. But yeah, this is pretty much like that. Everything just starts rising, and then Alice is chanting like lucha, lucha, ooh bam bam, yeah. That it's pretty awesome to hear and stuff like that. But 7-7 is I do dig it a lot. All right, the next one is Prettiest Cop on the Block, Set Your Soul on Fire. But Prettiest Cop on the Block, I know people give this track kind of shit. Well, the whole album, in fact. But I know a lot of people talk about how cheesy it is and whatnot, and I can't lie and say that it's not cheesy, but that doesn't mean it's fun, right? It's not fun, right? But yeah, you get these electric synths hitting, and then they just crashing of the drums, and then he comes in, he's like, I'm 6'3" with a fist like a hammer, I like to flex my arms in the neon lights. And then, the riff is fun, and so is the chorus, I'm the prettiest cop on the block, I'll set your soul on fire. And then he starts talking about, like, how his kids are confused and his wife is in shock because he's a queen at the street and the king at the station. And then you get these little whistles and whatnot in the backgrounds. But when he's talking about his like family and stuff, all confused, it gets pretty heavy in terms of like the instruments and just his attitude towards it. And at the end of the day, it sounds like he's having quite fun with this one. He's like, oh, when the boys see me coming, all this, body armor and whatnot, all this hair on my chest, my bulletproof vest, stuff like that. And then the ending is kind of funny too when it's like fading away and he's singing, I'm so pretty, but I mean, so pretty, but I mean, just kind of stuff like that. Like I said, is it cheesy? Yeah, it's cheesy, but hey, it's really fun. Alright, the next one is Don't Talk Old to Me. Okay, this track is I really love this song. Am I the only one that thinks it's kind of out of place? Like, it's pretty damn similar in tone to the Teddy Bear song, because it's this sad kind of low blues feel to it, but it's heavy. It gets heavy at times, but he transitions from this kind of low sad, and then he gets pissed off. Really, I think the whole point of this song is like, hey, you gotta grow up, because he's singing about he's having to sell his bike, a leather coat, and to the auto parts and guns. But in any case, for the Don't Talk Old to Me track, I do love the opening. That's just thunderous. Don't tell me I should, I better I can't. Don't talk old to me. That's really great stuff. And the backing vocals do complement and whatnot. And he's singing, a lot of times throughout this song, he's like, don't bark at me and I won't bite, bite off your finger and spit it out, stuff like that. And then he gets into his blues tone about, don't talk old to me, don't talk so old to me tonight, don't bark and I won't bite. And then, yeah, like I said, I think he's just having to grow up, because then he starts kind of throwing a hissy fit, talking about, like, no fun, no fun. Then he starts going on about that, having to sell things and whatnot. And then I love towards the end, he's like, this is the last time I'll say, please, don't talk old to me. No, no, no. He screams out this no part, but it's so that sort of low bar sound to it. At the end of the day, Don't Talk Old to Me, I really do enjoy. Alright, the next song is Generation Landslide Live 81. This I talked about in the $1 Billion album review, to where This was the first Generation Landslide that I actually knew about. Like I said, since I listened to this before, Billion Dollar Babies, that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, hey, this is a pretty cool song. And, I think because of that, I do enjoy this more than like the studio version from Billion Dollar Babies. But, at the end of the day, they're both great. I think I just love the sort of raspiness to it. It's like the fragility and whatnot. I don't know. I think it does give the song a bit more compliment to it. But I do know like people kind of give this one shit because it's live. Though it's not really. But like it's a what would you call it? You're throwing a song that you already did onto this album. But I think for the story itself, it fits. But in any case, with the live part, like I said, it's not live. The audience was just added to it, which is funny because when I told my dad that, he's like, "Oh, I thought it was live because when he had the album, him and his buddy would like raise the volume, thinking like, oh, is that us talking before and whatnot?" So it's kind of funny stuff. Um, but at the end of the day, basically what I said about Generation Landslide, it's the same here because it's the same fucking song. I would say that the la da 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 is a little creepy tone and whatnot. But I think what sets this apart is the entirely new stanza that he adds towards the end. Like I said, I'll put that in the description if you want to listen to it. But he's singing about no one gives an oink about prom night or football because just getting home from school safe is a gamble and a blessing. Then he goes on about girls playing girls and boysies with boysies and use each other like old broken Christmas toysies. The fact that I memorized that is fucking insane. But but the word oink, as in like a pig oink, OINK, it's going to come up in the next album, so I don't know if it's like an inside joke or something, but in any case, I really do enjoy that one. So that was the end of side A. Alright, so for side B is Skeletons in the Closet. Now, this song, and probably Vicious Rumors, is the most Alice Cooper sounding like in terms of, oh, this is definitely a concept that, if he was sober, or at least not on drugs, would have come up with. But you get this electric piano opening, it's like this sort of like haunted atmosphere feeling to it. And, he's making these scared noises like, ooh, 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 this type of sounds. And then the instruments carry this haunted theme. But at the end of the day, Skeletons in the Closet, it's really just that. It is a good song, but, it's just singing about, skeletons in his closet or in his basement, his hands in my coat pockets, in his bed. And then he starts getting pretty fucking paranoid towards the end, saying like, oh, don't you do like they're moving around, shaking my bed at midnight. They're moving around, they're alive. Don't you see them? He's like the only one that can see them. So, that tells you all you need, right? But at the end of the day, Skeletons in the Closet, it is a fun song. And like I said, I really do enjoy the electrical piano to it. I think that really does help this stand out from the album itself. Alright, the next one is You Want It, You Got It. This is the track I was talking about to which I really don't care about. I could be wrong, but I read on the Wikipedia that this track, along with maybe one or two others, were used as a, what would you call it, like a promotional value to it. The fact that you picked this song to help promote this album, I think that kind of sucks. Because 95% of this song is just singing that title in different tempos. Really, that's it. But, for the song itself, you got a bopping intro, and then you get these, like, electric clap sounds. And then he gets into this, like, sophisticated voice, naming things off. And then he's back to this raspiness for the chorus. If you want it, then you got it. If you want it, then you got it. I do enjoy that part, because it reminds me of Quagmire from Family Guy with the giggity. I don't know, it's just kind of funny. And then he's doing more of the off-screen noises, if you will. He's going like, okay, it's just stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you want it, you got it. Just imagine that line sung like 40 different times, and that's the track right there. I really don't care for it too much, but that's just me. For the next one, of course, is You Look Good in Rags. Reason why I kind of chuckled there is because I talked about this on the Alice Cooper copied a Blondie song because the riff is from Blondie's song Atomic off Each of the Beat, which is a good album, by the way. But it works for this song, though. I love that. I really do enjoy that. I love it. And, he's making more off-screen sounds like, ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Stuff like that. And then the riffs and the drums are fun. And the tempo is, it's fun, it's bouncy, it's fast and whatnot. And he's singing about, of course, like woman, I see gold. He's just stuff like that, singing about different characteristics in woman. Like, I see, bunch of different people, but you look good in rags, you look anything, you look good, dirt in your hair, just stuff like that. And he breaks out into singing different styles, and then like something about the Bible and whatnot. But the ending, I know like some guy made a video to which he voices displeasure on how the song ends, to which it's like 40 seconds of rag, 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 rag. Dead serious, that's what it's like. And I know I'm pulling a double standard here, sound like a hypocrite, because I really don't care about songs that, for the most part, just repeat a line or two. But I really enjoy that part. They sing it, rag, 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 rag. And then there's these guns, like loading in the ammo and then, clocking it back, rag, rag. So, it continues with that Special Forces theme, which, you can argue if it's even in this album. It is for some tracks for sure, but does it carry throughout? I don't know. But at the end of the day, you look good in rags. I really do enjoy, and this concept would come up in some of the songs. I think like the next one will be from Raise Your Fist and Yell. Alright, the next one is You're a Movie. This is a very fun track. The guitar player from the intro just tells you right off the bat, like, oh man, this guy's going to be a complete narcissist. And that's exactly what this track is. Again, You're a Movie is about this militant general, and he's just bolstering himself, this complete narcissist. Everybody come envy me. He's singing about how bullets bounce off his armor. That God tells him that Alexander the Great is jealous of him, of this tremendous army. And the band players act out as soldiers, talking about how he's the exception, he's a one of a kind, sent us to the front of the line, stuff like that. And I really do enjoy the back and forth dialogue between Alice and like the soldiers, because when they start singing, You're a Movie, he's like, yes, I'm quite aware, no need to repeat yourself, like, of course I am. So stuff like that, just like, affirming everything about it and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, You're a Movie, yeah, it's like a complete, asshole, but at the end of the day, it is a fun song. Alright, but to finish it off is, Vicious Rumors. Like I said, it's another Alice Cooper soundtrack. I think this song is about a killer, cause, when you look up the lyrics, it has to do with a guy who's, like, at a farm, and like something happened before, because Alice, he opens up, like you hear the knife stuck between your back, you hear a twist and sound of crack. So obviously somebody killed somebody, and then it goes on about how, oh, there's smoke in the air and that you're never going to be at the farm. And then he shows up at this other place, and this dude's kind of freaked out, and then he hears something and he shoots it, and it was his cat. And then like his canary later on, flies by and whatnot, but it sounds like a saber jet. And like everybody knows. So then it's like vicious rumors causing headaches and sonic boomers ringing in your ear, stuff like that. And like these vicious rumors, they're causing a tumor behind your eye and whatnot. And at the end of the day, yeah, it is fun, just singing about vicious rumors. And now you know why all the headaches come. And then it's like, there is a cool line to where in the beginning, it's like, oh, you wish your blood was like Novocaine, stuff like that. So that was cool. But of course, this song ends back to the beginning-ish of Who Do You Think We Are? You're back to the synth sound and like the choppers and them chanting, Who do you think we are? And then Alice ends it with, We don't care. So yeah. At the end of the day, Alice Cooper Special Forces is a top 10. personally, I put it in my top 10. Alright, so there you go. Let me know what you think. Do you love, do you hate this album? But I'll see you all next week for Zipper Catches Skin. Alright, thanks for watching.